No Chill Sports is an unapologetic, high-energy sports show where opinions fly fast and facts hit hard. The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the hosts and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of any affiliated networks, sponsors, or partners. Content may include passionate debates, bold predictions, and unfiltered takes that some viewers may find intense or controversial. Listener discretion is advised. If you're looking for chill, this ain't the place.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of HBCU Hour, where the legacy lives live, loud, and the culture takes center stage. Hold on, man. It wasn't working for me. Let me try this again. Welcome to HBCU Hour, where the legacy lives loud and the culture takes center stage. From the gridiron to the hardwood, we shine a spotlight on the soul of black college sports. This ain't just coverage, it's a celebration. What's good with you, my boy?
Man, what's happening with you, dog?
Obviously, I'm having a couple of difficulties. I kept clicking on trying to drag the thing over. It kept moving, like the camera. But we got a good one tonight, man. We are wrapping up on the college previews. It's a few schools we didn't get to. I apologize for that, but we will talk to those schools at Media Day. We'll be able to talk to some more people about, saying those schools and what they expect from them. We'll actually be able to, as they say, get it from the horse's mouth. So I'm looking forward to that. But without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get ready to get started. But first, we got to give a shout out to our sponsors over at Dubby. If I can get, come on, man. All right, give a shout out to our sponsors over at Dubby. Dubby is a powdered energy drink aimed at gamers and individuals seeking focus and energy. It's known for its clean ingredients, no jitters, and various flavors. Dubby is also available in a hydration formula for those needing electrolytes. Dubby achieves its smooth, effective focus with a high-end tasting experience while using no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Try Dubby today by scanning the QR code on the screen or visit us on the website bit.ly/no-chill-dubby. Dubby, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. And also, if you're looking to bring your vision to life, whether it's screen print, embroidery, custom tees, Kelly Creations has you covered. From bold logos to photo perfect prints, nobody does it better than the man himself, Donald D.K. Kelly. He is the mastermind behind the magic. Give him a call today at 225-202-2625 or shoot him an email at kellycreations225@gmail.com. And hey, let him know No Chill sent you. He might drop a little bit more of that heat on it. Kelly Creations, nobody does it better. We had to bring in everybody's favorite. I don't know if it's it. And so, what did the Buffalo say to his son when he left? Bye, son. All right, we got Erica in the building. Thank you for joining us, Erica. Welcome back to HBCU Hour.
I I'm not even finna. I'm sorry, Erica, but because of what he just did, I can't even give you the applause because I don't want him to think I'm clapping for what he just did.
We all know. Listen, we all know.
It's like
We
a
all know.
dad joke.
It
That's
is.
worse.
It's a great dad. It's a great dad joke.
No.
It was. It was excellent. But Erica, thank you for joining us. Taking time out of your busy schedule.
From
Everything.
vacationing and
Yes, I was in Jamaica and I got some more vacations planned this summer. I am trying to lean into rest and travel. So I'm
ain't
excited.
nothing wrong with that. We just appreciate you for carving out a little time for little old us.
Yeah.
You know, I always hang with y'all.
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious. We'll let everybody know we your favorites. It's no secret.
You guys are the only ones I'm breaking my vacation for, my no HBC sports talk vacation for. So
yeah. And we've been trying to start up some trouble too. By we, I mean me.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
You see, I haven't
by we mean this one right here, bro. Because
I just listen. I just been asking questions to get the get the crowd going. It gets them moving, and people enjoy it. Listen, today we asked about favorite environments, game day environment, and it's a couple places I expected to hear from, and we haven't. I know you're gonna take this bait. Ain't nobody say Morgan State. Care to chime in?
Certainly. I mean, you can't have a fantastic game day environment with 12 people at the game. It doesn't make any sense.
And we starting early tonight, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had to because she wasn't here, and Banks did throw a couple shots at Howard. So
I know he did because he's obsessed with us. I need that Mariah Carey song. Why are you so obsessed with me? Like, why? And it's interesting, game day environments. When I was a kid, the game day environment at Howard was like crazy. I mean, stands packed. Our band was like 3 times the size that it is now, maybe 4. And it was just like, it was like the height of like the real MEAC, the old MEAC. And I'm hoping maybe, I don't know if we'll ever get back to that, but those were the fun days.
So who has the best game day atmosphere in the MEAC currently?
I guess South Carolina State, but I've never been to Orangeburg and I don't seek to go. But I've seen it like on video.
Yeah.
It looks nice. It looks, I think Central gets up for their certain games.
Yeah.
Norfolk State gets up for the Battle of the Bay and Howard and Homecoming and stuff like that. I think like in the SWAC, I feel like most games are big deals, but in the MEAC, like we just pick and choose the ones that are important to us, if that makes sense. In this current construct of the MEAC. But yeah, I would probably say South Carolina State. It seems like they have a good thing going.
I also say because it's something, because I know the topic came up, and we don't I'm not trying to revisit it, but the topic came up about attendance and stuff like that. I also think another reason people don't bring up or talk about it, after a certain point on the calendar, ain't nobody really trying to sit outside for certain games.
That's a valid point.
Yeah, but the SWAC, they asserted that like it gets cold down there too, and they still go. So I mean, I don't know how cold it gets there. I just know how cold it gets here. So you can get snowflakes. Like it can.
I can tell you how cold it gets here. It got really cold here for Grambling A&M game on a Thursday night last year, but it was like 2 t-shirts and a hoodie cold. So it was like 50, 60. So it was cold. Well, I say 50. It was like 40, 50 cold, but it wasn't like windshield cold. It wasn't like,
you ain't worried about snow.
It wasn't like, I'm gonna watch the rest of this from the press box snow. I mean cold. So
we get wind chill because especially like at Howard, people don't recognize, if you've never been to Howard, you wouldn't know, but there's a lake right behind campus. So the wind whips off of that. Maryland is a completely coastal state. Like the wind will whip. So when we played Morgan last year in November in Baltimore, I think it was 45 degrees, but the wind chill was like low 30s. I mean, it was frigid. It was, and we had to throw a tailgate, like our tent almost blew away. Like that's how windy it got. But I just think the culture is different when it comes to attendance. They don't use weather as an excuse, and maybe we just kind of pack it in. One thing that they don't really talk about when they talk about attendance between the MEAC and the SWAC is, like up here, we're in NFL markets. And so one thing that I had to learn when I moved up here, I grew up in Richmond. So Virginia's mostly college football. They'll cheer for the Commanders, but generally speaking, UVA and Virginia Tech kind of run the show. Football's on Sundays here, and that's like a big thing. Like the bars are packed, the games are packed, Commanders, Ravens, like football is on Sunday. It's not a Saturday thing culturally up here.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So Erica, let's go ahead and get to it. Talk about let's talk about Howard last year. Look back before we go forward. I know. Howard season after back-to-back co-champ seasons. It was let down, to say the least. But I think you actually kind of called it and said, "Hey, it might yeah." Thoughts on last year and that experience?
It was an experience, one I wish to forget. I was very frustrated. Because I thought it bothered me so much that we squandered the team that we had in 23. Like, I think we should have won the Celebration Bowl. There was like no excuse not to win it. That team was primed to win that. I blame that on coaching. I think our coach got out coached when we went up 24, or was it 26-24, and then immediately give a special teams touchdown for them to go up 30-26. Like that's coaching. That's to me.
Yeah.
I thought that was one of the best teams we've had since probably Mike London's 2016 or 2017 squad that beat that UNLV team. And then prior to that, going back into the mid 90s, where we had Ted White as our quarterback, where we believe won the Heritage Bowl against Southern. So anyway, most of that defense came back. The offense was what was the issue. I think the offense on that Celebration Bowl team bailed some coaching decisions out because we just had so much talent. I've always been had a little critique about our quarterback, that Celebration Bowl quarterback we had, Q Will, but he was what he was. Going to 24, the offense was an issue. We lost a lot of linemen to P4 schools. Our running back core came back strong, but without linemen, what can they do? I thought they underutilized the tight ends. That we had some really great tight ends. They just never seemed to go to. And when you can't establish the run game, you can't establish the passing game. So it was really frustrating to watch the defense do as much as they could do. I mean, even in that South Carolina State game, I think they got three or four turnovers off of the South Carolina State offense, and quite a few 3 and outs. But when the offense can't score and you keep the defense on the field all game, there's only so much you can do. So I thought the season, I didn't think we were going back to the Celebration Bowl last season from the start. because the offense was so in question, the quarterback play was so in question. But I didn't expect it to be as bad as it was, especially when you have Hawthorne, Kenny Gallup, all of these guys still on the team. So
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask you about. The guys you just mentioned, the Gallups, the Hintons, some of those guys y'all had on that team who were upperclassmen, fifth year seniors in some cases. Hawthorne, I think, was the fifth year senior. How do you replace those guys? I mean, not just on the field production wise, but what they bring to the locker room as far as, leadership and culture and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, those are program changing players. They were program changing players. I really don't know how we replace them. Kenny has a little brother named Caleb. Caleb got some burn at the end of the season last year. He's bigger, probably maybe a little stronger. We'll have to see. But I'm very excited to see what Caleb Gallup does now that he can kind of step into his own and like establish his own legacy apart from his older brother. But again, like those were program changing players. Like those, I told those guys from that Celebration Bowl team, I was like, I don't think y'all know the impact that you have had on this program, like the depths that you brought it out of. Hopefully they've been able to impart that in the new guys. And it looks like the new guys have been very hungry from what I've seen. So I'm excited to see what they do. But y'all are going to ask me a lot of questions about what to expect. And I'm going to tell you, I have no clue. This is like the first, I really don't know what to expect coming out of the locker room. I won't really know until the Orange Blossom Classic.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So let me ask this. And it's not really of what to expect, but more so Howard for a long time kind of put sports on the back burner. And it's obvious now. Some sports.
Revenue sports.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that it is obvious that as a whole, the culture around football has taken basketball is of course been basketball, and but football has seemed to start to take a little bit more center stage with the success that the school has seen the previous 2 years. How is that now? Are you seeing kind of a I guess revital, that energy coming back?
Well, I don't know how to explain it. As far as energy, as far as like on campus culture, alumni, or just
more amongst like alumni and fans.
Oh, the fan culture has grown. I'm like really impressed with like how much alumni are starting to tap in on what's going on athletically. And I think it's in conjunction. Like when you have your football team go to the Celebration Bowl and your basketball team go to the NCAA tournament 2 months later.
Yeah.
2 months later. Like that's a lot, right? And then plus a volleyball championship, softball championship, like track and field, the list goes on. So I definitely think alumni are getting more tapped in to what's going on with the program. Now, does that translate to butts and seats all the time? Maybe not. We don't have that like super gung-ho fan travel culture. But I think donations are up. The donations are up. The interaction online, those metrics, those are up. So people know what's going on. They didn't used to follow, now they do. So that's really good. I would like to see it translate to more butts and seats at home games and at away games. And for those that don't know, I'm president of my alumni association club here in Baltimore. um, um, president of the year for the National Association. And so what we've tried to do is activate whatever athletic team comes into town, we're there. We're supporting them, we're traveling with them, and just starting to try to infuse that into our alumni culture.
I can dig that. I think if you follow up the celebration bowl run with maybe a 500 year last year, you know what I mean? Like there were a couple games that y'all lost by 1 to I forgot. It was a conference game. Y'all lost by like 1, and then y'all lost another one by like 7.
We lost by 1 to Norfolk State.
Norfolk, that's what it
That
was.
shouldn't have been a lot. Oh my God, that
Yeah.
bothered me so bad. And then the Morgan game, well, they had suspended the whole defense after that fight at North Carolina Central.
Yeah.
So to me, so for Banks, that was the highlight of his little year that they beat Howard. But with all our guys sitting on the bench, to me, like whatever.
Yeah, but if you flip the Norfolk game and turn that to a W, and then the Hampton game, y'all lost that one by a touchdown. So if you could kinda turn those results around in y'all's favor and kind of go 500, 6-6 last year, I think. Do you think that there would be like more momentum with the fans? Do you think last year kind of maybe hurt some of the momentum y'all had coming off the celebration run?
It definitely hurt the momentum and the way we lost, right? Like the way we've lost to Hampton 2 years in a row is mortifying to me. Another loss to Hampton, in my opinion, is a fireable offense.
Oh,
How many coaches get like 7 opportunities to beat a rival and hasn't done it yet?
that's valid.
You know what I mean? Like, and we were up 20 points in 23. We conceded a touchdown in the first quarter, and then it was the scoreboard was even for the rest of the game, but we could never overcome, right? And some of the scores we gave up were atrocious. Like there shouldn't be 110-yard runbacks.
Yeah.
So that Norfolk State game, we were up. You know, it's the way you lose that bothers me. And I think, you know, you flip those 2 games, we are 500. The fight with North Carolina Central also was a black eye, I think, on the program and on the MEAC. What happened in Durham that day was unacceptable. I think the MEAC took a heavy-handed approach to how they punished and just did it across the board. But I was very upset at how the MEAC handled it, especially for a lot of our Howard guys who weren't fighting. And I think some of that punishment impacted their draft stock. And so to me, that's a beef I have with the conference.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Wasn't it also Morgan was the last game, right? So they
Yeah.
suspended for their last college game in some
Correct.
instances for guys who weren't even participating. Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very sad. It was very sad to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking back at like your schedule. It was some games where y'all were in almost every game last season.
And that's thanks to the defense. To me, that's thanks to the defense because the offensive yardage, offensive numbers were atrocious.
Yeah,
they were atrocious.
Yeah.
The quarterback situation, to me, we had a starting guy that got injured. His name is escaping me for whatever reason. And then I think he came back premature. His arm was never the same. And then we had Jalen on the bench, who I thought should have got the starting spot. He's now transferred to Alcorn. I imagine he'll start at Alcorn. But, you know, he actually Probably, I think he produced all the touchdowns in the Morgan game. They put him in at the last minute and he started running up and down the field. And then that solidified our fan anger about why they weren't playing him. So the offense is the issue. And you'll see many Howard fans on Twitter complain that we do not have an offensive coordinator. Our QB coach, Greg McGee, is now the offensive coordinator or assistant at North Carolina A&T. Greg McGee is top 3 quarterback in Howard history. So when he's leaving home, that's an issue.
Yeah. That's yeah.
So you talked about the offense, and with a backfield that had Eden James and Hunter, and I don't know how Howard was second to last in rushing in the MEAC, except for the offensive line.
Oh, the offensive line was not good. And it was like whiplash because the offensive line in 23 was fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, you had Aneem, you had Witherspoon, who went on to start at Syracuse, which was a top 25 team, right? Josiah Chenault, he's now transferred to what is that school? The Hootie Hoos. What is that school? In Georgia? What is that school called? I forget.
Hootie Hoos. Oh.
You know, it's North Carolina Central's old coach is the coach over there. What's the name of that school?
Is it not Kennesaw State? No.
That's it. Yes, Kennesaw.
Is it Kennesaw State? Oh, yeah.
He's transferred away. Fantastic lineman that we've lost. But Jarrett Hunter tried to put it on his back as best he could. Eden James, I think, was kind of injured last year. Eden James' performance and production was nothing compared to what he had in 23, and he wasn't even getting the majority of the snaps. Right? He was getting like a sprinkling of the snaps. So I don't think he was like at 100% capacity, and you could tell when they were giving it to Eden, we were losing yards almost every time. So hopefully he's healed. He graduated early, but he's playing again this year. So I'll be excited to see if he's back to 100%. But now we got to find some other running backs, and I'm not sure who's primed to come out of that locker room on August 30th or whatever the day is, the Orange Blossom Classic is. I'm going to be studying just as much as everybody else because I think there's just so many questions. Who's going to get the start at quarterback? What does the running back core look like? Has the line been rebuilt? We lost major pieces on defense. What does it all look like? Maybe they'll surprise me. I hope. I pray.
Yeah. So before we get to the schedule, I want to ask, what do you want to see out of this team going into this season? I'm not necessarily wins and losses, but as a team, what are you looking to see from them?
I want to see maximum effort. I want to see, hopefully, that they're gelled. I think there was a little friction from what I saw on the sideline last year. I'd like to see that, they've come together as a team, that they can work their way out of difficult situations. If they get down, that doesn't mean they're out. I also would like to see them get up for rivals. Sometimes I'm unsure that the current generation of Howard students, and maybe this is post-COVID land, I don't think they know the depths of like why these rivalries matter, and maybe we haven't shared it enough with them. You can lose. We play 12 games. You can lose 11. Don't lose the Hampton game. Actually, play 12 games. Don't lose Hampton. And I'm not saying Morgan is a rival, but don't lose to them bums. They have not won in Green Stadium since 2008.
Yeah. Got a message to Zach say give Erica our email so we can finally get that official roster. They holding up our Yeah, preview.
That roster ain't coming out for probably another 5 weeks, buddy. I promise you.
I mean, I could believe it because I was begging for the schedule, and I was like,
See,
but
I knew the schedule, but I
yeah,
couldn't say it
I
publicly.
know.
You gotta ask me, but
No, I was trying to because I was, we were posting the schedule. I was like, oh man, I did see some games on there. I was like, but yeah, y'all weren't alone. It's several HBCUs that were that just said, we're gonna play football. Y'all find out who when y'all find out who. So
I mean, I just want people to understand this about Howard University, and this is why, like, the Tennessee State stuff got so nasty last year. We do things in our own time, and it's often slow. We will not be rushed. So y'all want our football schedule, you want our homecoming dates, and we'll tell you in June, maybe. Like, we're not going to announce these things in February or March. Like, it's not our nature. We don't buy tickets until the last minute, which is why when Tennessee State bought up all our homecoming tickets, people were enraged because we don't buy tickets early. We know we're going, but we'll get them later. Like, it's just our way. I don't know how
culture down here. As soon as the tickets go on sale, we're trying to get ours.
No, not for us. So that's like homecoming. They'll release the tickets in like August, September. By October, we'll get them for some people. But the Tennessee State people bought them all like at the beginning. We're like, oh no, our tickets. We don't have tickets. So we're just the Orange Blossom Classic. They're like begging us to buy the tickets now. And I'm like, no, we're not going to buy them this early. Like, give us like 3 or 4 more weeks, and then we'll buy them.
Yeah, that's not.
That's why Howard don't travel to away games that good. Ain't no more tickets left for him.
I did buy my flights to Miami, so I will be there. But have I got my tickets yet? No.
So you're gonna be in Miami. You might not be at the game, but you're gonna be in Miami.
I will absolutely be in Miami.
But I never mind. Just say that's great. You said, and you talk about travel to games. You have a home game and you don't get your tickets. That's
well. Also, part of the fact is and maybe it's not the same as it was back in the day, but people are always trying to figure out a way to like hustle and not have to pay to get in. So if you can figure out a way to like Howard hustle your way into the game, you're gonna do it.
Howard hustle.
That's what it's called, the Howard hustle.
Oh,
see, Howard being upscale, I understand. Y'all not cheap. Y'all are frugal.
No, it's not even cheap. It's not frugal. It's people are scammers. We have scammers.
I'm not even gonna go there.
See, I was gonna say, I think part of the reason for the home attendance not being, what people might expect it to be, is I don't know too many people who graduate Howard and stay in the DC area. You know what I mean? Like a lot of like the people I know who graduated from Howard live in like Chicago, New York and Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like ain't too many of them staying around.
Well, I'll say this. When we do travel, like when we played Hampton in Chicago, anytime we play in New York, we get tons of crowds, right? Maryland is the top state for living Howard alumni. There's enough of us here. Like the stadium seats like 9,000 people. Like I think Maryland has like 40 or 50,000 living Howard alumni in the state. So there's enough of us if we wanted to pack it out.
I was trying to help y'all out, but
No,
you
don't even have to help me. I'll say it. Like we are here. What I'm most concerned about is the students. What I've noticed from when I was in school, we used to go to games. They were free. I don't think they're free for the kids anymore, but we used to go to games like that was a social event. The kids post-COVID don't seem as interested.
I think that's a nationwide thing because, like, I was talking to a buddy of mine who works at a G5 Group of 5 school, and they they're having trouble getting students to come to games. Like even on like the Greek nights and you know what I mean, and all the stuff that's specifically designated for the students, they still don't get the attendance. No, like they've done, free pizzas and all this kind of stuff to try to, but it's nothing that like I just don't think this generation cares about sports in person like we did, coming up.
I absolutely agree because I've noticed alumni participation in Howard home games, basketball and football, has ticked up.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, where are the students? Like, this was a thing I didn't see at the game.
Trying to be in front of a screen somewhere, man. Like that's
yeah. And to me, with Howard having record enrollment, there should be no issue filling up the stadium. Like when I was at Howard, we had 6,000 to 7,000 students, maybe undergrad. Now they're at 10. Like, and we have less seating now, so there should be more kids, but they're not coming. Or like sometimes if they do, they're bringing their homework. So, they're bringing their.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not even doing that. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's look at this schedule. Let's look at homework.
They do. They'll have their laptops writing their papers, like at the Burr. They do.
That's insane.
They're a little nerdy now. We weren't as nerdy as they are. They're a little nerdy now, but I appreciate it. Books first.
Oh man, if I ever saw somebody doing homework at a game while I was in college, boy,
I would have threw them books. That is interesting. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead. That is big.
That's wild stuff.
That's wild. Let's go ahead and check out this schedule. As you alluded to, y'all open up rematch of the Celebration Bowl. Against Florida A&M. And the way you, no, I ain't gonna say that, but yeah,
we're gonna shock the world.
Okay.
Win a W.
All right, I like it. Off the rip.
They're gonna shock the world.
Honestly, I will say I don't really know what to expect from either team. So
true. We both could be very bad. Just who's less bad. Honestly.
That's valid.
All right, then y'all take on Temple. Do we need to?
Yeah, just
all right. All right.
Is Temple any good?
I don't think they were very good last year.
Could be closer than you think.
I think they head coach.
I don't even know who.
I mean, I see it as a loss, but I was told we might actually have more fans there than they will.
That's very possible. That's very.
We are planning.
They don't really draw very well.
Mm-hmm. But again, football is on Sundays.
They were 3-9 last year, so
we'll see. I'm going to say a loss, but listen, they could shock the world. We could do like we did with Eastern Michigan or whoever it was we played. Keep it close.
Yeah. Then you got the HBCU, new NYC Classic. So
I like this game.
It'll be a win, but they're not going to lay down.
Yeah.
All right. Then next you take on the battle for the real HU.
Well, it's not a battle for the real HU because we know who it is. But
isn't Hampton an institute?
They used to be.
They are to me. Birthed on April Fool's Day, 1868. The jokes write themselves. My line sister's wedding is this day. This is the first Howard Hampton game I've missed since I was like 4 years old.
If Howard win, you might not need to go to another one.
That's what somebody said.
Wow.
It's been a long, Erica.
That, huh?
Erica, I was telling somebody, I said, well, you know what I'm saying? I was like, it's, you know what I'm saying, how it been in the cup? They was like, it's been too long. I was like, nah, it ain't been. I looked at the list. I said, oh.
There was a space where we ran off 4. So there is a graduating class from Howard that never lost to Hampton, which is unheard of. But my blood pressure, I know, is going to be elevated this day, even though I'll be at this wedding. If we lose to this team again, you will see a crash out unlike any crash out you've ever seen from me. And I crashed out last year.
But if y'all win, that's gonna be the most live reception.
Listen, we can lose all the rest of the game, save for Morgan State, bruh. Like, pack in the season. I'm good. I just hate losing to them. I'm tired. Like, have some self-respect. Like, in the way that we lose. I remember being my junior year, we were down at Sam Armstrong Stadium, you know, and we were up like 30 points. And then midway through the second quarter, it might not have been 30, it might have been 20. The lights went out in the stadium. And we had an hour and a half stoppage. And I know President Harvey did it. I know he did it. Because he said never does he ever want to lose to him. But he cut the lights out. And we came back on that field. Hampton ran up the score. I said, like, I'm traumatized. I carry trauma from this rivalry. We cannot lose again.
I will say I agree with Zach on this.
Yeah, I was gonna post. Yeah,
we don't do that in the South. Fall weddings don't exist in the South.
Fall weddings in the South on bye weeks.
Even then, I told my wife we can get married anytime from January to August, pretty much. Like fall, I'm not, because look, it might be a bye week this year, but next year your anniversary on the biggest game of the year.
It's true.
No, we don't do that. We don't do that by that wedding stuff in the fall. No, can't do it.
This is not go to. Hey, Google it. You're gonna have to Google it, Ron, because it hurt my feelings.
We don't
I ain't even go there.
We don't have to Google it, Ron. It doesn't matter.
Let's just say Howard the Duck had a comeback since then. I'm just saying.
Got my blood pressure raising already. Move to the next game.
So, then y'all take on Richmond. Yes, oh, wait. I'm sorry. What'd you say? Hampton? That's a dub?
I'll never say we're losing to that school.
Gotcha. All right. I just want to make sure we keep track. All right, Richmond.
I'll be there. My dad is throwing the tailgate. That's a loss.
Okay. All right. I like that you threw that in there. I just want to make sure I'm counting good. Okay. All right. We good. 2, 3. Okay. All right. Sacred Heart.
That's a win.
I agree. Then you come to Nashville.
Yes, I bought my flight for that. I'll be in Nashville.
Did you get your tickets?
Nope.
Absolutely no.
All right. You'll just be in Nashville.
You'll be watching from a bar somewhere in Nashville.
No, they play at Nissan Stadium, right? There should be plenty of tickets. Is that where they play?
Yeah.
There shouldn't be no run on tickets. I'll get in some way.
They're Tennessee State to be spiteful and get them all anyway.
It's their homecoming. We're not coming to invade like they did us.
Y'all should.
We don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like literally, they were like, they extended the invite and people were like, we're not going there. But I'm going.
Oh, man. All right. So what you got? You got that one as a dub?
I do, because like, I just don't know what Tennessee State has left. Like the Water Boy. Like, what do they got left?
Valid. We don't know. That's valid.
Ooh, I already know what you're gonna say. Homecoming.
They wanted it to be spicy. They wanted me and Banks to be spicy this year, I think.
Homecoming.
We're not losing to them on our homecoming. I promise you that.
So I'm gonna ask this because I'm petty. Are they a rival? Because they say they're a rival.
It's so
And
funny because
to be fair, Erica, you said you want the current team to get up for rival games like Hampton and Morgan.
no, I said I don't consider Morgan a rival, but they need to get up for that team.
I got you.
Let's see, I qualified it.
I got you. But they still got to win that game, so it's like a rival.
Yeah, because it's not really a rivalry, but like I just hate that they feel like they're in our atmosphere. Like I didn't know they considered us a rival till like 4 years ago when I went to their student center. It had Go Morgan beat Howard. We would never have anything that said Morgan State on anything on our campus ever. I was looking like, what is that? We would just never have that. These bums haven't won in green since 2008, and I don't expect that to change this year. And they won't even be able to get to the game because they won't be able to find any parking. Win.
Okay. She said it with a chest. All right. North Carolina Central. I remember the last time y'all had them at home.
It was a cold, dark night. It's a cold, dark night. And it was a long one for the Eagles. I'm gonna say loss right now until I see. I reserve the right to change my selection as the season goes on, because I know they've got Walker Texas Ranger coming back, and
Took noise, Lord.
But I'll be interested to see like how they look, and they play FAMU, so that's a good comparison with both of us playing FAMU. Yeah, I'd like to see what they have going. Now, they're not like the best road team in the MEAC. Like they always drop one. Like you can always guarantee for them to drop one. Now, where will they lose? That's the question. But they never run through it. They never run through the conference.
All right. Then you got South Carolina State in Orangeburg.
Yeah, we should have won that last one when we were in Orangeburg. That bothered me too. I don't know what Coach Barry got left.
Yeah.
Their cabinets got raided too. Their pantries got raided too.
That they did.
And I had heard some whispers that spring practice didn't look all that hot. So we'll just have to see what the summer holds. But I don't know. I can't call it. This is a weird year in the MEAC. The only team I think that's actually coming back with some real depth that I can speak to is probably Morgan State. Truly. That defense is coming back. The question is, did they find a quarterback? But I feel like Gerald has gone hunting for some offensive pieces. They might be able to produce more than 7 yards a game.
So you calling that a possible
against South Carolina State?
Yeah. Or
I'll say a possible. I'm not convinced we'll lose, but I'm not convinced we'll win.
All right.
Orangeburg is like so many bugs.
You got Delaware State. This is the start of the welcome to the MEAC for y'all, or introduction to MEAC for
Coach Jackson.
Coach Jackson.
I mean, I find him quite unserious. Truly. But if he can convince all the let me change what I was about to say. If he could convince all the kids from Cali to come to Dover, which is a real hard sell, maybe they'll look like something. But I just don't take him serious at all. A win. And we got a couple of their bigger linemen that transferred onto our team this year. So
All
he's starting from scratch.
Then you got Norfolk State.
Michael Vick, I do take serious. Actually, I take him serious. Little known fact, my family were Hokie boosters, season ticket holders for Virginia Tech. Michael Vick is like God status in my family. So super excited for him to be coaching at Norfolk State. I don't think he'll run the table his first year. He's never run a program himself, to be honest. So I think there'll be some growing pains there. Cold day into November in DC. I'll give it to us.
All right. And
we've only lost 2 home games in like 3 years.
All right. So if I count that right, I got 9-3. Ant. Did I get that right?
Yeah, well, it's 8
I had some
impossible.
8 impossible. All right, we'll say 8-4. I'll give it 8-4. She got to give some wiggle room. And Crook said, Aunt, is she lying?
What am I lying about?
And
Actually, she has been one of the more reasonable guests that we've had in terms of predictions. Like all the teams that she said they were gonna beat, we really don't know what they got.
I really think this is a strange space in the MEAC. Like, there's no super big notable names coming back. Like, it's like a wait and see to me. That FAMU game, I'll be able to tell, like, based on how we play FAMU and how Central plays FAMU. That might give me some
8-4. Zach.
8-4 Zach.
8-4.
You know,
8-4.
They're gonna flip their record from last year, man. That's all. You know.
Hey, you know what's crazy?
7-5. Say 7-5.
She backtracking.
You say 7-5.
You said okay.
Listen, I know my team. We're gonna lose. We're gonna lose.
You just don't know the who, huh?
Correct.
I just want you to know. I want to throw this out there. Bank said they going 9-3. That Morgan State going 9-3. So,
yeah, I think everybody in the MEAC was going 9-3, right?
Let's see. So
except for Delaware State.
Yeah. Let's see. So Kobe got South Carolina State going 9-3.
Kobe's full of it. That team is not going 9-3.
Banks got Morgan State going 9-3. Josh got Central going 10-2.
Okay.
Now Central, I could see going 10-2, but they're gonna lose. They're gonna do the Reggie Miller choke, right? They're gonna lose the game that matters. To the playoffs, you go. Am I lying? To the playoffs, you go.
All right. So them boys ask if the talent is even, who has the best coaching staff? What you talking about, a particular game or just overall in the MEAC? I don't know. That's
overall in the
overall in the MEAC. I have questions about each. I think Coach Wilson, I mean, wonderful defense, but I've seen not shit on offense. And I mean, like, you've had a couple years.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson, I'll say it again. I find him unserious. Maybe he is, but I haven't seen it yet. Michael Vick, I find him serious. I think he's put some pieces around him from the 757 that folks don't know about unless you like from Virginia, that I think that can really develop out. And they have a pipeline in a lot of the high schools in the 7-5 to where, like, maybe not this year, but in 2 or 3 years, like, folks can just stay home and they can run to me in. Central staff, I absolutely think is very strong. But they've lost a couple pieces. I think they had a couple coaches go here, there, and everywhere. South Carolina State, I'm never going to knock a Celebration Bowl appearing coach. But the real testament is, what do you do the next year once your cabinets have been rated? Because that's what happened to Howard. Our folks got transferred and went to P4, this, that, and the third. So how do you rebuild? And Howard University's coaching staff, we got a couple new coaches, but we still don't have an offensive coordinator. That grinds my gears. I've been told our head coach is supposedly a Nick Saban appointed offensive genius. I haven't seen it. So we'll see.
Yeah. Them boys said would be interesting to rank the coaching staffs in the MEAC from top to bottom. Well, I tell you like this. I asked everybody who by uniforms, and they had a hissy fit about that. I'm not doing.
I should have. Well, one, the school with the best uniforms has the brand partnership with Michael Jordan. So let's just put it all to rest. Thank you so much.
We're not finna. We're gonna put it out there, them boys. We're gonna tell everybody to rank the coaches in the MEAC. Y'all, the people want it, the people get it. We got y'all, man.
Everybody
he say that now. But as soon as I start doing it, like, man,
everybody's last place.
I ain't said unless you can start. I ain't said nothing about this, bro. Yeah. I'm all a little petty, especially in the off season. We gotta have something to talk about.
Remember that time we did the quarterback? Remember that time we did the quarterback list?
We're not bringing that up. We're not bringing that up.
Speaking of Howard all-time top quarterbacks, one of them had something to say about it. We asked him about him in person. I'm just saying, I have my own list. I just give me 5. No, get out of here.
Oh, man. So let me ask you this, Erica. What would you say is a successful season next year for Howard? Not in terms of wins and losses, but just what when you look back at the season, what will it take for you to say that was a successful season?
Win 2 out of conference games. That includes Hampton. You must win Hampton. Period. Win 2 out of conference games. Win 3 in conference games. 5 or 6 wins is okay for me. Now, do I want more? Certainly. But do I know where my program generally maxes out? I think we've had one. We went 7-4 in 2017 or something like that. Like, that's the most wins we have. We were second in the MEAC that year. I think A&T went to the Celebration Bowl. Yeah. 2 out of conference wins. Or make it 3 because we'll have Morehouse. But give me Sacred Heart. Give me Hampton. Tennessee State would be icing on the cake. But, 3 out of conference wins, 3 conference wins. We're going to play 5 games. Win 3 of them. That's good for me. And honestly, if you win 4 conference games, you might go to Atlanta. Like, that's how this shit works.
Yeah, I can see it. You beat as long as you lose to the right school,
the right school.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's why I said what I said about Central. Like, they always lose to the wrong school.
Hold on. Let me do this. Get close, Erica. Y'all can go to the Celebration Bowl, but you got to lose against Morgan or Hampton. Who you gonna lose to?
It would never be that.
Yeah, well, Hampton wouldn't really.
That ain't the point. And let me. I got this.
No, it's got to be realistic.
It is realistic.
So okay, I got. So
don't do that.
So if I told you today you'll make the Celebration Bowl, but you lose to Morgan State, would you be okay with that?
Have heartburn. I would. I would have so much heartburn. Like, I don't know.
She want to cry. She finna cry.
Oh no.
All right. Okay. You beat Morgan, you lose to Norfolk, and you lose to Hampton, but you make the Celebration Bowl.
I mean, we lost to both of them schools last year, so it's not something I'm unused to. I would be okay with it. But again, when we made the 23 Celebration Bowl, I was still stomping my feet about us losing to Hampton.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And to me, even if we had won that Celebration Bowl, yay, great. But we still lost to them bums on I-64. Like, figure it out.
Okay. You beat Hampton and Morgan, but you only win 2 games in the MEAC. You beat Morgan and Delaware State, but you lose the other 3. You beat Hampton, you beat Sacred Heart, you beat Morehouse, you lose the FAMU.
Do we beat Tennessee State?
Oh, I forgot about that one. Sure, why not?
A clappable season. Applause.
Well, you really weigh them rivalry games a lot.
Listen, I'm a very realistic person. I don't live in la la land about Howard University football. I've been going to games since I was 4 years old. I've seen the highs, I've seen the lows, and there's been way more lows than highs. So, like, I don't live in la la land. I have very reasonable expectations. Don't lose to Hampton. Don't lose to Morgan. Beat Morehouse, of course. Like, give me a couple in each category, a couple out of conference, a couple in conference, and we good. And if you make it to the Celebration Bowl, I will be there to cheer you on.
So, Erica, I know who your favorite SWAC team is. Are you going to any of their games this season?
I do not think I'll be making any Bama State games this year. I wish I could, but the way the schedule works out, plus homecomings and weddings and all the things, I won't be able to go, unfortunately. But that's like my favorite place to visit. It's wonderful.
Speaking of, because they mentioned about the weddings and stuff, is it really a friend if they have a wedding during football season?
Come on now.
I don't know. Maybe it's a little different for men than women. I mean, this is my line sister. Like, I gotta go.
So I would, as the friend to the bride, I would question her choice in men if he okay with her getting married during fall.
Well, her fiance is the head basketball coach of one of the most prominent, like, P4.
So he should know. He should know. Summer is when you get married, bro.
Basketball, like,
summer is when you get married, bro.
But he's running summer camps. He's like a
weekend off.
He just need 1 weekend off.
How long is Larry Scott still under contract? I think this is the last year of the contract, Kelly.
So if he lose to Hampton, you finna be like, don't renew the contract.
Oh,
she been screaming that. Period.
Twitter fingers. I will send an email. I will be the most Karen I can be.
She wrote a Yelp review on Larry Scott. Half star.
I will be the most Karen I can be. I will be calling, emailing, all the things. Now, the AD, like, they're not gonna listen to me, but like, let's really do a appraisal of the results. And a lot of the debate we have in our Howard groups is, we've got 2 championships, right? But we're not over 500 in either of those seasons. in the way that we've lost some of these games. Like that Celebration Bowl season, we should have been 8-3. The way we lost some of those games, that South Carolina State game, that Hampton game, the FAMU loss, like they're like devastating losses. Like, and it's very normal in Howard culture to lose in like a terribly dramatic way. But like just to see even that Eastern Michigan game when we came back from the doldrums and really pushed, like we could have, it could have been a much more respectable record going into that Celebration Bowl than it was.
Well, Erica, I don't know what else you got for us. When are you returning from your hiatus, HBCU hiatus?
You know, we have to see when we're going to start back HBCU Nightly. I have enjoyed like the break. I've tried to not get caught up in all like the Twitter back and forths. I've really enjoyed the break. So I feel like for me, you might see me the second week of August back in the saddle, ready to go. But I'm super excited to go to Miami. I'm super excited to see what we do in the Orange Blossom Classic. I think that's going to tell me a lot. And hi, Melanated. Oh my gosh, hi. What loss and how bad would it need to be for Larry Scott to be lowered in the coffin at Howard?
He can lose. Erica said he lose the coin toss. She don't care. He come on.
Here's the thing. The question is, what is a possible succession plan? Who could we get after? To me, I like a Teddy Keaton. If we could poach him. Someone that can coach up and can coach nerd athletes. Someone that has charisma. Someone that has an innate ability to not only connect with his players, but to connect with alumni and donors and the students, etc. Like, I think we need a personality, and I don't think we have one. But also, to Coach Scott's credit, like he's for the constraints of what Howard football is in recruiting and scholarships and things, right? He's done actually okay. He's done a lot with a lot of different constraints. You know, I'm not going to call the rest of the HBCU world dumb, but like we're placing players in medical school. Like those are the types of players we have to recruit. Like the GPAs have to be there before we can give the scholarships. And then the scholarship money it's $70,000 per athlete at Howard. So, you know, that really kind of binds your hands, right? So I actually think he's done okay. I just think he could do better.
What about a national championship winning coach in the CIAA? Like Virginia Union coach Parker. I know he had his alma mater though, so it might be hard to pull him, away from there. But
maybe. Here's the thing: you got to be able to recruit the type of player that Howard wants. That is literally where we have our two hands tied behind our backs. Right? You have to get into the school competitively. So if your teams are recruiting 2.8s, 2.7s, 2.8s, 2.9s, well, that doesn't cut it at Howard University. We need 3.3s through 4.0s.
Yeah.
And then we also need you to meet all the metrics of what your position requires. And then you got to be good at it. Like, that's hard. So he's actually done okay. I don't want to like go on like the bash Larry Scott. He's actually done okay for what we require. And it's the same thing in basketball, which is why I'm so impressed with Kenny Blakeney. he's been able to bring in the type of scholars that we have to have at Howard and then get them to the NCAA tournament.
Valid.
No,
And
we
you
don't
got
get in the chat at all.
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
And I was gonna say, well, Erica, before you go, definitely bless the people, let them know where they can find you and all that good stuff. Give them your Christian Mingle account.
No. I'm good. Good. Y'all can follow me at ERLEE0217, early 0217 on Twitter. You'll catch me on HBCU Nightly. I'll be talking all things Howard all the time. So yeah, just follow me. It's a fun experience. I mean, we do take a lot of players from the Ivy League. It's all those black kids that go to the Ivy League that just want like that smattering of a black experience. Well, just come to Howard. It's great.
That's funny.
It's true though.
Yeah. All right, E. Well, definitely thank you for coming to visit your favorite cousins down south.
Of course.
And we appreciate you. We look forward to having you back. We'll definitely let you reserve the right to change some of these picks. We'll come back during the season and tell us which ones you want to change.
Hey, can you put what Zach just put up?
Let's see what Zach put up.
Mary.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Oh man.
And also,
hey,
if we beat FAMU, I don't want. I think the SWAC will melt away, and I actually hope that happens.
So also, if you have a wife and you're trying to get in Erica's DMs, you and your wife can subscribe to our YouTube page because she'll be on here. Y'all both can watch her every now and then. Just come do it that way. But yeah.
Yes, please, married men, stay away from me. Uninterested. Thank you so much.
Erica Stories 101. All right, we'll be back at another time. Again, thank you, Erica, for coming through. We'll see y'all on Monday. Looks like Monday. We're gonna start recaps. D1, all of D1 HBCU. So until then, we out.
Bye, y'all.
Why do I play my music?